Hey everybody, I want to share with you an experience that I had at a truck stop about a month, maybe 5 weeks ago. Tell you what I saw, what I did about it, and maybe what that might mean for us as truckers. Let's get busy. So about a month ago or so, maybe 5 weeks, I was trucking down Interstate 80 in Wyoming, just about to leave, getting into Utah, and I pulled into that exit 6, that Pilot or Flying J, whichever one it is. It's ComData. And as I was leaving, going through the parking lot, I noticed that the parking lot was just absolute trash. God forbid if you're a co-driver in the sleeper trying to get some sleep before your next shift while that truck is moving through the parking lot. There were potholes in that thing that were probably 20 feet long. You could have been buried inside these potholes. So what I did was I went on the Flying J Pilot YouTube channel and I picked the latest video that they had uploaded. And I made a comment on that video. Didn't care what the video itself was about. I just wanted to leave a comment and let these people know, hey, look, your parking lot is absolute trash. And I told them in that comment, if it's not fixed in a month, I'm going to start getting on the radio and talking to people about this and see what we can do. Absolutely unacceptable. So here is a screenshot of that comment that I left. And you can pause the video here if you want to read it in its entirety. But here it is. This is what I told them on their YouTube channel. Well, about 3 weeks later, I pulled through that same parking lot and I noticed that they had fixed it. I walked through, here's my little walkthrough video, and you can see in numerous places where they had repaired some of these potholes. You can see the lines where they dumped more asphalt in there. Now, is the parking lot completely smooth and all the way fixed right now? No, there's still a couple, maybe 2 or 3, half a dozen small potholes in there, but they certainly fixed the vast majority of it. They fixed the largest ones. And if anybody recognizes their own truck in this video, I apologize. I'm not very good at editing out license plates and stuff like that, but the point is, I walked through the parking lot and it was in pretty good shape. I mean, all things considered. Considering you're dealing with a huge company that doesn't really want to spend a whole lot of money taking care of truck drivers and, you know, fixing their stuff. I'd say that worked. So after I shot that video, got back in the truck, and I went back to that same video on the Pilot Flying J YouTube channel. And I left this comment here. You could pause the video here if you want to read that comment. But I basically updated that comment and said, hey, thanks for fixing your stuff. Now, I won't presume to be responsible for Pilot Flying J fixing that parking lot. As if any huge corporation like that gives a damn what I think about the way they run their business or maintain their property. I don't presume to be that damned important. But I do know this. It took years of neglect and years of heavy trucks rolling in and out of that lot for a pothole 15 or 20 feet long and 8 inches deep to develop in that ground. And it only took inside 3 weeks for them to fix it after I left that comment saying, hey, this is unacceptable, and I'm going to start talking to guys on the radio and, you know, social media and all that other stuff. That's the fact. Okay, so I came across a parking lot that I didn't like, and I complained about it, and they fixed it. Big deal, right? What does that mean? Well, in the small scope of things, it doesn't mean anything at all. But in the large scope of things, it demonstrates power a little bit. Listen, businesses need customers. Businesses, such as truck stops, need truck drivers. Everybody needs truck drivers, whether they realize it or not. Because without truck drivers driving trucks and moving freight, nobody has a job. Recall a few months ago when truck drivers did a boycott of New York City. They said, we're not going into New York City for any reason. We're not going to pick up any loads. We're not going to deliver any loads. Within a week, New York City was running around with its hair on fire like its ass was catching, threatening truck drivers, threatening to freeze their bank accounts or whatever. And on a side note, they can't do that, friends. Last I checked, this is a free market society, and we have the right to decide if we're going to do business with any particular business. So if we decide we don't want to do business with anybody in New York City, then free market society principles say that's okay, we don't have to. But New York City didn't like it, and they flipped out. And if you'll recall, that was all because truck drivers didn't like the way that one court, that judge, treated Donald Trump when he issued that $350-something million fine against Trump. Truck drivers said, hell no, man, that's our boy. We don't like that, and we're not going to go into New York City anymore. New York City said, we're scared. Imagine what would have happened with Georgia if truck drivers had said to the Attorney General of Georgia, hey, we don't like the fact that you arrested Trump, booked him into jail, and took a mugshot. We don't like that. So we're not going to do business in Georgia anymore. We're not going to drive into Georgia. We're not going to deliver any freight. We're not going to ship anything from your industries. We're not going to buy fuel from the truck stops. And we're not going to buy overpriced babysitter food from the egg roll oven. Imagine what would have happened with other states like Colorado that tried to keep Trump off the ballot for November 2024 election. What if truck drivers had said, no, we don't like that. We want to be able to vote for Trump, and we want Colorado citizens to be able to vote for him too. So we're not going to put anything on your shelves. We're not going to drive into your state. We're not going to buy fuel, and we're not going to buy your babysitter food at the truck stops. Imagine what might happen in November of this year, 2024, if we wake up on November 6th and we say, you know, I suspect shenanigans. I suspect another fraudulent election. Are truck drivers going to say, okay, you states don't want to count the ballots right? We don't want to deliver any freight. We don't want to buy any fuel in your state. Recall back at the end of 2019 when everybody was saying, oh, 2020, that's going to be my year. I'm going to do big things. And then like 4 months later, everybody was wiping their asses with notebook paper, flipping out. Remember, truck drivers weren't even pissed off back then. And everybody was still flipping out. Friends, it is high time that this country recognizes and respects the immeasurable value of the truckers. Imagine what would happen if truck drivers picked a spot, picked a state maybe, and said, we don't like your roads. We're not going to stop in your state and buy fuel and buy food. Maybe we won't even deliver anything or ship anything out of your industries. Arizona, New Mexico, I'm talking to you. Fix your roads, because I'm sick of it, and I can't be the only one. In Arizona, on Interstate 10, what is it? Not even 400 miles across the entire state. Interstate 40, what, close to 400, maybe 375 miles. I don't remember the exact numbers. New Mexico, crossed Interstate 40, less than 400 miles. I'm talking to you, New Mexico. Fix your stuff and do it right. Because we're sick of your stuff. Every time I run through Arizona, every time I run through New Mexico, I see cars parked on the side of the road, trucks parked on the side of the road with steer tires blown out, hazard lights on, bumpers, hubcaps laying on the side of the road. Ridiculous. Jump in a sleeper and try to sleep while your co-driver goes down the road. Good luck. I'm sick of feeling the fillings fall out of my teeth because of all the potholes and crap. California, I'm talking to you. Fix your roads and open your rest areas so that truck drivers can get some sleep. Or you can find some way else to ship your produce. You can sit there and watch all the container ships float out on the bay because nobody's hauling them away. California, all up and down Interstate 5, 800 miles from San Diego to Oregon. There is no reason why a truck can't go all the way from San Diego to Oregon without putting fuel on. Arizona, New Mexico, you guys ain't too big. You're 400 miles wide. I can put fuel on somewhere else in some other state and go all the way through Arizona, all the way through New Mexico without stopping. If truck drivers decided that they weren't going to buy fuel in Arizona, guess what? They wouldn't be alone in this fight, because the truck stops would get at their capitals, would get at the state capitals and go, hey man, we can't sell any fuel. We can't sell any egg rolls anymore because these guys ain't stopping. They put fuel on at the next state over and they're not stopping here. The fuel tax revenue goes down. All of it tanks. The truck stops get involved. The shippers, the industries, they get involved. And they join the fight with us. Look, friends, I'm not trying to talk politics, and I'm not trying to call for a boycott in this video. Not trying to call for a boycott of any particular truck stop or state or anything like that. All I'm trying to do is raise your awareness and encourage you to demand better treatment and better conditions from the people who need you the most. There is a lot that we can do to improve our conditions and our status in this economy. I've been doing this a long time, friends, and I know this trucking industry very, very well. And I have several ideas of things that we can do to change certain things in our industry. Hands down, we run this entire economy. If the trucks stop, everybody stops. Everything stops. Some people might say, well, yeah, I'm not a truck driver. I won't lose my job. Okay, so you work in an office. Go make your own paper clips, punk. Go get your own paper clips. Maybe you're not a truck driver. Maybe you've got some other 9-to-5 job. How much fuel have you got in your car? If the trucks stop, you stop. Because you probably only keep half a tank of gas in your car. When that runs out, you don't get to work. And then you lose your job. Why? Because truck drivers got pissed. As I said a moment ago, I know this industry very, very well, and I have seen it go to crap over the last several years. And I have several ideas about how we can change it. But I would like to hear your ideas as well. I will be posting other videos about specific things that we might do. Specific changes that we might force on this industry. But mine is a small channel. So I'm asking for your help in getting the word out. And we can tackle these issues one at a time. I'm not long for this industry, friends. I'm getting tired. But before I climb down for the last time, I would like to see some significant changes so that those who come after me won't have to put up with so much trash. You guys be safe out there.